We're learning Mishna Yisivamis, Perek Beis, Chapter 2. We're in the middle of Mishna Zion. So let's just quickly read from the beginning of the Mishnah so that we get just some of the basic background before we move on further. Chaim shekitchu shtei achayos. Two men. These two men were not brothers. They went and they married two sisters. Ze enu yadeh is a kiddush, v'ze enu yadeh is a kiddush. And each one does not know which one he made kiddushin on. Okay? That's the case. Two guys go over to two sisters. Each one makes kiddushin on one of them, but nobody kind of remembers who did what. Right. Now, each one has to give two gets. Each one has to give a get to each one. At the end of the day, we don't know which one is married to. They're definitely married to somebody, right? And we don't know which one. And neither one can marry the other one because of the fact that maybe it's the other one's wife. And therefore, the only thing to do with these two women to allow them to marry is to get a get from each one of these men. Okay. We did that yesterday, right? Now, next, and this next part we also did yesterday. Mesu. Let's say both these guys died. And each one had one brother. The halacha was that each brother gives chalitza to both of the women. Okay? That was yesterday's Mishnah. Now we go on to today's Mishnah. This part of the Mishnah, and that is this chart. Okay? All right? Now, let's just read the words. Lozeh echad v'lozeh shnayim. Oh, man. All right. All right. I think I missed. I didn't bring the other chart. All right. We can use this anyway. Let's say one had one brother and the other one had two brothers. Got that? The case is that one, again, these two men, who each one of them made a kedushin on one of the sisters, we don't know which one. The first case we had each one having one brother. Now the case is that one has one brother and the other one has two brothers.
But these two men, they are brothers.
No.
No?
The first two men are not brothers. They're two separate people. And all the issues come up because of the fact that the two women are sisters. But the first two men are not brothers. Okay? Thank you for bringing that out. Now, each one in this case, each one, one has one brother, one has two brothers. So let's, for instance, just right on this picture. Okay? We have Ruvain, right? And we have Chaim. We don't want to call them Reuven and Shimon because we don't want to think they're brothers. Okay? So we called one Ruvain and we called one Chaim, right? And the two sisters that the Kedushins were made on are Rachel and Leah. Okay? Now, in this picture, I kind of went ahead. I brought the wrong chart. But in this picture, what we have, in this picture, both have two brothers. Skip one of the brothers. Forget about RB, stands for?
Arbus.
Oh,
brother.
Reuven's brother. Okay? That was RB, Reuven's brother. Okay? CB, okay, is Chaim's brother. Not the one you talk on, right? But CB is Chaim's brother. So now let's forget about Reuben's brother for a second right now, okay? Let's forget about him. Okay? So you've got Reuven, No. This is so messed up. Yeah, I really brought the wrong chart. I really brought the wrong one. I brought the wrong one. Okay, yes you do. So now in this case, you have one has one brother, one has two brothers. All right, so what does the Mishnah say? The halacha is hayachid chayletz l'shteyen. The one brother has to give chalitza to both of them. V'hashnayim, and the two brothers, echad chayletz v'echad miyabim. One of them does chalitza, and one of them does yibam. Okay? So now, what's happening is like this. because of the fact that we have two sisters here, no one can just go in and do Yibam. Because anytime you go and do Yibam to any one of them, it could be your brother's wife that you have to do Yibam on, but it could be the sister of your brother's wife, right? It could be the sister of your brother's wife, and because of that, you can't go ahead and do Yibam on her, okay? An even bigger problem is the fact that you're going to go over and do Yibam on one of the women. Who says it's even your brother's wife? Right? The real starting point is that right now, who says when you do Yibam to any one of them, it's your brother's wife? Maybe it was the other brother's wife. And there's not even mitzvah of Yibam for you to do anything here, and you cannot live with her because she actually has a connection to Yibam, to the other brother. Okay? So therefore, there's no way of going in and doing Yibam. Now, the one brother that's around, that one brother. So that one brother, like we had yesterday by one brother, the one brother, these two women, right? Maybe they felt, one of them may have fallen to Yibam, one of them doesn't. One of them is his brother's wife, one of them isn't. All right? If he goes and he does Yibam, right? If he goes and he does Yibam, he's gonna have a problem of either doing Yibam on somebody else's wife. Let's read over here for a second. Okay? No. Okay. So if what the one brother, if he goes ahead and he tries to do Yibam here, who says even his brother, who says even his brother's wife? Could have been the other brother's wife. So what's he going to do? He's going to go ahead. Let's say he wants to go ahead and give chalitza. He'll give chalitza to one, and after giving a chalitza to one, can he marry the other one? No, it's a sister of his chalitza. The other brother has two brothers, not one brother, has two brothers. So by the other brother who has the two brothers, that other man who has the two brothers, if the first brother, the other man's brother gave chalitza to both of them, right? Gave chalitza to both of them. So if there's any kind of connection to him, it's gone. It's done. It's done. Now we're looking at these two women. These two women, maybe they're his brother's wife. The problem is, without knowing which one is his brother's wife, we don't know if he's marrying the woman he has to do Yibam on, or he's marrying the sister of the woman he does Yibam on. Okay? So they both can't go ahead and do Yibam. All right. So one goes and gives chalitza. Right? One goes ahead and he gives chalitza, and he gives chalitza to one of them. Gives chalitza to one of them. Now, if he gives chalitza to one of them, so let's now look at the other woman who didn't have chalitza yet. She could be her brother's wife. Could be. If she's not his brother's wife, is she the sister of the woman who was married to his brother, who now has a connection of Yibam to him? The answer is no. Because if that other woman is the brother's wife, she had a chalitza done to her already. The other brother did a chalitza to her. Right? If you have two brothers, if a woman falls to two brothers, once one brother does chalitza or Yibam, the other brother is free. There's no more zika, there's no more connection. So once one brother does chalitza, the other brother can actually do Yibam. He can marry her. Because either it's actually his brother's wife, and if the other one was really his brother's wife, and you're going to say, well, then this is the sister of the woman connected him for Yibam, that woman already had chalitza done to her by the other brother. And therefore there is no zika there if she was really married to their deceased brother. And therefore, you can go ahead and do Yibam. And there's no problem with the sister of his chalutza because he didn't do chalitza. The other one did chalitza. And if they think there's a problem that maybe she was married to the other guy, that other guy's brother already did chalitza. And therefore, at the end of the day, in the case where there's one brother and then there's another brother, and one has one brother, one has two brothers, the halach is going to be that one of those two brothers will actually, one will do chalitza and one will do Yibam. But none of them can go in and do Yibam right away, because if he does Yibam right away, it could be not his brother's wife, it could be the sister of his brother's wife, which would make her a chayzik, the sister of the woman connected for Yibam. The Mishnah continues, Kadmu v'kinsu, let's say they didn't wait. These two brothers, we had this similar in the case before. Instead of going ahead, these two brothers, instead of going ahead and asking a shayla what to do and finding out that one should give chalitza first, the other one can do Yibam, they both kidmu v'kinsu, they both went and married. They both went married. That means what that means, one of them, right? Either one of them is doing something wrong, because maybe they could be doing something wrong, or possibly doing something wrong. At least the very first one, when he went ahead and he married that first woman, he wasn't allowed to, because he didn't know it was his brother's wife or the sister of his brother's wife, the sister of the woman connected to him. He didn't know that, and he therefore wasn't allowed to get married. So maybe, as we said before yesterday, in a situation where a man marries a woman he's not allowed to marry, the Bezdin, the rabbinical court, can get involved and tell him he's got to divorce her. But in this case, you don't got to do that, because in this case, what's happening is like this. Again, if she was the wife of the other man, his brother relative chalitza, there's nothing to talk about, any connection to that, any connection there. The problem is that you had these two brothers from this one man, and one of them went ahead and married when he wasn't supposed to. Now, the first one who went ahead and married a woman he wasn't supposed to, all right, she was possibly the sister of his zakuka, possibly the sister of the woman connected him for Yibam, wasn't allowed to marry her. Okay. But now that his brother went and married the other woman, right? So now that brother, so again, the first brother who married, either he did Yibam because it really was his brother's wife, or it's not his brother's wife. It's the sister of his brother's wife. And that was a problem. But that means that the other woman is the woman who was married to his brother. And therefore, it comes out the second brother, he did Yibam, because he didn't have any problem. It's not, this other woman is not the sister. If the other woman was the married woman, this woman is not anymore. I'm sorry. So the second one, he's going over to this woman. This woman is, maybe it's his brother's sister. Fine. Okay, maybe it's his brother's sister. Now, maybe the other woman was the wife, and this is the sister of the woman who was connected to him. But that brother already went ahead and did Yibam the other brother. So Manavshach, it comes out that the second brother, he's safe. It's either his brother's wife, and if it's the sister, it's not the sister of the woman connected him for Yibam, because the other brother married her, and he did Yibam. And now if it comes out that the second brother is marrying the brother's wife, then the first one can stay married to the sister because there's no more connection of Yibam. So therefore, the Mishnah says, if they went ahead and they jumped the gun, and instead of having one do chalitza and then one do Yibam, they both went and married, at the end of the day, no one has to divorce their wife. Because at the end of the day, any problems that we may have already are going to be solved. There is not going to be any more connection to Yibam, meaning if let's say the woman he marries is not his brother's wife, but the sister of his brother's wife, and the problem should be it's the sister of the woman connect him for Yibam, that's not going to be a problem here, because at the end of the day, each woman married a brother, which means at the very least, each woman had a Yibam possibly done to her, and therefore the other woman is not the sister of the woman connected for Yibam. So, sorry again, I didn't have the pictures. The picture could have been more helpful, but that's today's part of the Mishnah. Okay, Chaim continues. Okay, now, if a person transgressed and he spoke lashon hara on his friend and he wants to do tshuva, toli bazeh, it depends on this. If those who heard him, those who listened to what he said, rejected his words, they didn't believe it. We don't believe it. And therefore, the person you spoke about was not degraded in any way. The only thing left now is your sin between you and God. Which is you have now transgressed the will of God. When you speak lashon hara, there's two things. Hashem said, "Don't speak lashon hara." So if you did it, you have sinned against Hashem. You've also hurt another person. But in this case, the only thing you've done is you didn't hurt the other person because no one accepted what you said. So therefore, the only thing left you do have to do is tshuva regarding the sin against Hashem. And therefore, tikunai, the way you rectify is sheyischared al sha'avar. You have regret for the past. The yisvad and confess. The yikabal al atzma b'lev shalom al abba shalasais kain. You accept upon yourself, full-hearted. You're not going to do it again. Kamay b'chol avanish b'rem lachmakim, like by all sins between man and Hashem. That's what happens when the other people reject it. So you didn't hurt another person. So now you go through the regular, you go through the tshuva of the 3 steps of tshuva, and you're done. What happens if the other person now was degraded and hurt? That's going to be for tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.
So what is the